I'm really kind of scared
And what are you afraid
to go
of?
talk to my mother about that. Because my mother wouldn't understand, honestly. She's, she just wouldn't understand. And I feel like if I was to talk to her about it, I don't know. I feel like she just wouldn't understand.
And where are you getting those thoughts from? Cassidy is a first time caller out of Illinois. Cassidy, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Hi, how you doing?
All is well. How are you?
I'm okay. Well, first of all, I just want to say, Jesse, I love you and I appreciate, what you're doing. So
Thank you.
my call is also, and I'm just kind of like a little bit nervous because this is like my first time
Well,
calling in about
relax.
this because I never talked to anyone.
Relax.
about
It's
this.
just Jesse. Go ahead.
Okay. So I have been having like these thoughts in my head that kind of been like alarming, and I never really paid attention to it before because I like grew up on, like the South Side, and I always had like this one-sided image of like what was going on. So I recently discovered like what was the other side of things, and what I mean by that is, the Black Lives Matter, and feeding into all of that.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I just found out that that these thoughts I be having is kind of alarming, and what I mean by that is I had a thought in my head about me recently, like passing away or dying, and the thoughts just came out of nowhere. I was like dropping my daughter off to school, and it just came out of nowhere. So about like 2 weeks later, I had like an incident where I wasn't like feeling too well, and that same thought like came into my head, like I'm probably gonna like this is what's gonna happen to me. Like I'm probably just gonna, basically just like carry on into the next life. And I was trying to get in the tub, and I went back out because I knew I wasn't like feeling too good, and I passed out. My boyfriend, he came in. He was, he said I blacked out for maybe about like 2 minutes, and he was like, it's just because when I had that thought in my head at that time about me like passing away, I noticed that I had that thought before.
Yeah.
And I don't know where these thoughts come from, but I just like it just be like a lot of, honestly, I be feeling like I be having like a lot of like thoughts, like evil thoughts, honestly. And that's why I can understand where you sometimes say like, the woman is evil, like, or the woman has evil thoughts. Like, I kind of agree with that because I can see it like in me, and I just want to know like how can I basically take those thoughts away, because I tried to go to church, but I recently discovered that the church I've been going to since I was a little girl has recently like lost its way, and honestly I just feel like Christianity has lost its way, period, because the church I was going to is now ran by a woman pastor. And I just noticed like the things that she was saying that I finally woke up to, and I'm like, well, I just don't agree with some of those things. So I was never really able to like get this off my chest to like see how can I actually, just live in peace without having these like thoughts in my head.
Amazing. And so your question for me is, how can you live in peace without having those thoughts?
Yes.
Have you heard me say you need to go and forgive your mother?
Yes, but I don't know how to do that.
You don't know how to do that?
No, and I'm really kind of scared
And what are you afraid
to go
of?
talk to my mother about that. Because my mother wouldn't understand, honestly. She just wouldn't understand. And I feel like if I was to talk to her about it, I don't know. I feel like she just wouldn't understand.
And where are you getting those thoughts from?
Because I just know the type of woman she is.
And but what I want you to know, the only reason you're afraid to go talk to her is because you resent her. And by resenting her, you're listening to the spirits of evil in your imagination, because everyone that has anger is subject and live with Satan and his demons. They live with them and they think that they're on their own, but they're not. And so you're afraid of her because you resent her. But if you realize that, yes, as it sounds like you do, yes, I do resent her and I'm wrong for that. You know how you can't help yourself with the thoughts?
Yeah.
Your mother has the same problem. Matter of fact, they came from her to you when you became angry at her. You became like what you hate. And so the thoughts don't want you, because they're wicked spirits you possess. They don't want you to forgive your mother because they want to destroy you. They don't want you to find God. They're doing everything they can to keep you from finding God by telling you, oh, she wouldn't understand, or she'll get mad, or you'll hurt her feeling. They are trying to keep you away from finding God. You're possessed in your mind with the spirit of evil because you resent. And so if you really want to overcome it, you got to shake in your boots and face your mother. And what you're doing is just saying, hey, I'm sorry for resenting you. I realize now you can help yourself. You don't need her to apologize. You don't need her to admit to anything. You don't need anything from her. When you forgive her, God will forgive you, and he will make a home in you. He will bring you into the kingdom, and then he will fight those dark spirits in the imagination, which is of the devil, and he will destroy them. Those thoughts are not yours. They never have been yours, and they never will be yours. But you can't fight them on your own. You need the light of God to fight them for you, because you're dealing with spirits. You're dealing with darkness. But you got to face your mother, and it'll be the last time you ever have to shake in your boots. Because the only way you can be forgiven is that you must forgive. And God will forgive you. Human beings don't forgive. But when we apologize for judging, for being angry, then God will forgive us, and you'll be fine.
Okay. So just no matter, what she says, just go in and just basically just tell her that I forgive her, and then hopefully I should not have these thoughts in my head.
Well, what's going to happen is, once you go and forgive her, don't ask for forgiveness. I'm sorry for resenting you, mother, because I realize now you can help but what you did to me. I understand it. I go through the same thing now. And God will forgive you. Then he's going to bring you into the kingdom, and his light will separate you, the real you, from the thoughts, the not you. And the light will shine on those thoughts, which are spirits, and it will destroy the darkness. And eventually you will have no thoughts. But for a minute you may have them, but at least you will see that you have them, and seeing that you have them will cause you to overcome them. They will be taken away from you. And if you didn't identify with those thoughts, you could be free from them right now. But because you have been thinking that it was you all these years, it's a little hard to know that it's not you, because it think like you, it sound like you, it feel like you, but it's not you at all.
Okay. Thank you, Jesse. And I actually have one more question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So, you know how Trump says that he was going to build, new cities when he gets back in office?
Right.
My question is, do you think that could be a good thing or a bad thing? Because, I also kind of feel like, like God gave everybody the equal opportunity to, build on their own. And what I mean by that is, build their houses, build their farms and things like that. So that's what I kind of feel like I want to do. But at the same time, I just don't know because I want to be away from like society and like away from like all the distractions and, you know, just like away from like what's going on, you know. So
Well, I don't
my
know.
question is, do you think that will be?
I don't know. I don't know what he mean when he say he's going to do that and how he's going to do it. But and you're right. But even if, let's say that Trump built brand new cities, right? And he made them physically perfect to live in, meaning that we have gas, low prices, blah blah blah. But if the hearts haven't changed in the people, you're still going to have to deal with the hell in the new city of people because just because you move in a new place and the heart haven't changed, the problem is still with you. So no matter where you live, you're going to have to deal with evil inside of others, meaning that you deal with it by not dealing with it because you can't do anything about evil inside of other people. You overcome it yourself and you'll be free from it. But you'll be fine either way. But I love the idea that you want to do it on your own. That's the way to go.
Yeah, and like I said, I grew up on the south side of Chicago, so it's like, you know, defund the police and you know it's crazy here. It's crazy here because I actually fed into that, and I was part of that. And it's just so amazing because I recently like discovered like wow this whole thing is just a lie, you know, like it's just a lie on how we just like living and just everything and to Martin Luther King. So it's, you know, it's really amazing.
Yeah, because they believe in lies, they believe the wrong thing. But you're fortunate, Cassidy, is because now you're looking at you. You have not seen life until now. It's going to become amazing. And I want to ask, though, did you go and have a physical examination, see why you passed out for a minute?
I did. I did go to the emergency room.
Okay.
But the doctors couldn't, like, give me an answer because I didn't, like, actually go at that moment, like, when it happened.
Oh, okay.
So when I went there, everything was, like, back to normal. But it's like I said, when I did have that thought, when I was actually feeling like I wasn't, you know, I was like going to be gone, I just noticed that to myself, like, wow, I had this thought before.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy.
The only way you were able to see that you had the thought before is the light of God is allowing you to see that. You couldn't have seen it on your own because even what we're talking about now, unless a person is seeking the truth and want to know the truth, they don't understand what we're talking about. They have no clue what we mean by thoughts of lies. They don't know that their thoughts are wicked spirits of evil. It's the nature of the devil. They were like, what you talking about? That's crazy. It doesn't even make sense, right? But because it makes sense to you, it's God who is allowing you to see that. And so when you go and forgive, He's going to draw you all the way in, and it's going to be amazing for you. And yes, you're still going to identify with those thoughts for a minute, but eventually you won't. They would disappear from you, plus you would know that you're not your thoughts, and you'll be fine.
Okay, so as far as me, like I said, the church I was going to, I felt like this is like, you know, not the church for me anymore.
Don't go back. It's a waste of time anyway.
So, okay, so just don't go back, but just keep up with just talking to God more?
Yeah,
or?
your body is the temple. So just wish those people well. They're blind and can't see. Human beings are possessed with wicked spirits in the imagination. When you hear that, do you believe that?
I do.
Oh, okay. Because that's what it is. And that's what Paul talked about in the Bible. The things I do, the things I don't want to do, I do. The things I want to do, I can't. I realize it's not me, but it's the spirit that made a home. He was driven by thoughts and feelings, thinking that they were his own until he realized they were not. And now that you're starting to see that, you're going to be fine. Just be patient.
So okay, what did he do in the Bible then to get, to get his everything together within himself?
He stopped.
Just keep with praying, keep.
Yeah, he stopped fighting with the devil, meaning he stopped believing the thoughts. He stopped believing that emotions were his and thoughts were his. He gave up, and then the Spirit of God defeated the darkness. Thoughts are dark, evil, wicked to the core, and it was spiritual. So he stopped fighting with it because there was nothing he could do, and he let God take over. And that's what's happening with you as well.
Okay.
Are you doing the silent prayer? Are you aware of that?
I haven't been doing it, Jesse.
Okay, start doing it and stay with it so that you can stay still. And when thoughts come and situations come, you won't overreact. And in stillness, it's being destroyed. But if you overreact to thoughts and feelings and situations, you're giving life to the devil. You're worshiping the devil. You want to be still, so do the silent prayer morning and night, and practice keeping your mind where your body is, rather than thinking about tomorrow or yesterday, which doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you, Jesse. I appreciate you telling me that, and I'll probably call in to let you know after the fact that, I talked to my mom.
Yeah, make sure. And you're going to shake in your boots, and the devil's going to try to talk you out of it. But all thoughts are all lies all the time about everything.
Okay.
Where?
All right, well,
do you see are you close to your father?
He passed away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, how you
I
feel?
haven't had that time to talk to him either.
Well,
I really wanted to.
Well, just know he couldn't help himself. He was dealing with the same thoughts and feelings that you are, and that's why he wasn't able to protect you from your mother. He had I don't know him, so I don't know, but he has not overcome his mother. So just don't hold that against him either.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Actually, okay. All right. Thank you, Jesse.
What were you about to say?
No, I was going to say that I actually feel kind of a little bit of guilt on how he died because I wasn't there. And I always had that hold against me. And I don't know how to let that go either.
That's just a thought. That's not you, and it's not from God. Satan, you're believing thoughts about the situation, and you're feeling the pain from the thoughts. That's not you. You have mercy on yourself by not condemning yourself. Don't condemn yourself. It's not you at all. That's false guilt. That's evil.
Okay.
Let that go. There's no reason for you to feel that way. And in all honesty, in truth, you have never, ever, 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 ever been guilty of anything. You've never done anything wrong, and you've never done anything right. You've never been guilty of anything except that you think the anger is you think the thoughts are yours. Forgive, and you'll be fine. But let that go about your father. You have mercy on yourself. Stop judging yourself. Have mercy on yourself by not judging yourself.
Okay. I'm going to work on that.
All right. I wish you well. Call me and let me know how it goes, all right?
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye now.